Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing tonight? I am your host, Tiberius. Welcome to the channel. Give me just 1 second here while we get a few things up and running. And we will get started. Good evening, Olympus. Thanks for coming, joining in on tonight's show. Oh, give it just a minute here and then we'll get started and get rolling. Now we're just doing a little faction grinding. We'll take a look at the events that have been going on, see where things are at. I do need to speed up some researches. We'll look at Turf Wars, take a look at the modified scoring for that event, and see what the rewards and stuff are there. Interceptor warp speed, huh? Sure, let's speed that one up a little bit. Use up those. Those are free. These are free. I'll also be hopping back and forth a little bit between this account and my new account. We'll talk a little bit about that and some lower level content as well. Alright. Do I have enough points to do any territory research? I can do a few things. What do I need for almost there? So that would be tomorrow if I wanted to do officer conditioning, which I think I do. Although speeding up some buildings is probably a smarter idea, so let's do that one. And then do I have enough away team credits for something? I got 250, so we can do something there. Max shield health of all Romulan ships. Maybe. Let's do FedRep. Let's do FedRep. Get another boost there to Federation reputation. Alright, let's claim our dailies. Finished all the other ones already today. We'll see what we got for away teams. Nothing ending. This one's got about an hour and a half. That one's got 2 hours left. This one will refresh in an hour. Okay. So we got time. We're out here in Klingon deep space right now. Tiger Core was a little crowded earlier, so I decided to head on out here instead to do some faction grinding. Not quite as many points as Tiger Core, 6,400, as opposed to like 7,000 or so that I normally get there. But they're very similar. They're pretty similar. The 47s here versus the veteran 40s there are pretty similar in terms of total points. And I am closing in on the home stretch. Probably get this done in the next day or two. 13 million to go. And then I've hit that 1 billion lock point. So you got 2 lock points for faction reputation. Well, there's 3 technically. 10 million, it locks, can never go back below that point. Then you got a giant gap to get all the way to 1 billion points. And after you hit 1 billion, it can never fall below that. And then the third lock is currently, for all those super whales out there, is at 15 billion points. That's like 2024 plans. Don't have to worry about that one. So I'm not worried about that 15 billion lock point anytime soon. We'll hit 1 billion here, and then we'll probably switch over and start killing some Romulans to get the Klingon rep going and get the Federation rep working its way as well. Federation's almost halfway there. Fed's at 460, so by the time I lock Rom, Fed will be right up there as well, 460, 470, give or take. So the two of those should finish up fairly close together. I was debating whether or not I just wanted to keep going, just keep killing Klingons in Taiga Core. Excuse me, oops, sorry. If I wanted to keep killing Klingons in Taiga Core or elsewhere, just to get the Fed rep all the way to 1 billion faster and lock that out completely, and then I could have my choice between which of the two of them I wanted to kill to get Klingon rep, or to get really just looking for ship blueprints and stuff. But then I'm just wasting the Romulan rep. So I'll get millions of Romulan rep killing the Klingons. That's just going to get wasted when I switch. So it makes more sense to flip it around, and we'll just do the the Klingon rep. We'll kill the Romulans, get the Klingon rep. The Fed rep will be a byproduct, and they'll finish up close to the same time. Also doing this, can I teach you a lesson? All right, we got a couple more Badgie shards here, as well as some uncommon, rare. I'm sorry, common, uncommon, and rare. If I could read, it's right there in front of you. And epic. Okay, there is epic there. I feel better now. I started to say epic, but so this is a nice little solo milestone event. Lower level players did not get this event. On my level 10 account, it's only it's only mining. They didn't have any type of kill stuff event to get this, but this was a good event. 25 million and another 25 here. 50 million dilithium is good, plus the tokens to also go with it is great. And then getting big chunks of gas as well. Well, getting some gas as well along the way. It's another, 175 or so. It's a nice upgrade. If you're doing your battle pass and you've been keeping up with things in your milestone here, you would have gotten your lower decks mission key. Go into your event store, you'll be able to claim your mission right here. It's a 5-part mission. Revolves mostly around, you gotta be level 34 is where it's based out of. The systems involved are the Federation systems, Tau Ceti and Sirius and those kinds of systems. They involve killing ships 34 and up, 35 and up to complete those missions. Not too many kills involved. Also does take us into a new system that they added to the game that I did not realize, that they snuck in on us. This new system, Kala, that just popped in here right off of Xerxes. These two systems were dead ends. Well, that one goes to reset. But now we've got a new system here, Kala, which is where your missions will also take you, which just have these random guys that just don't really seem to do much of anything yet. Not sure the significance of this system. It's probably something to do with the show that I didn't make it very far through. I tried. Just not aimed at my age demographic, I guess. Really felt like it was just bouncing all over the place, and was really giving me some anxiety issues trying to follow it. So not exactly what I'm sure I'm not the age group it's intended for at all. I'm sure there's probably some other systems out there too that they may have added into the game. We just haven't noticed yet, haven't had a purpose to go look for yet. But it's a 5-part mission. When you complete the 5 parts, you'll get this first milestone here complete, which will also give you a nice little chunk of dilithium. So in addition to getting for the other events and stuff for the battle pass and whatnot, now you get more dilithium here and gas. For this one, going to teach you a lesson for giving you a whole bunch of gas and dilithium there. Now you get more of it over here. I'm going to guess because they gave you the Cerritos, which is an explorer class ship. We're going to get more gas heavy events because that's what it's going to primarily need to upgrade. Like if I wanted to upgrade my Enterprise here, you can see that the primary components it needs mostly gas and then a little bit of ore for doing some of these upgrades. So I would guess that that's going to be what's factored in and featured as they want to promote the new ship, make it easy for people to get it, to upgrade it, to get it moving, make it worthwhile, worth the investment for the people who did spend the $99 to get it. You don't have to spend to get it. You just have to be patient if you don't spend to get it. You can spend $100 now and buy the ship outright in the store. Should be in here somewhere. There you go. For $100, you get the ship fully outright. For $50, you get half the ship. For $20 in the battle pass, you get the other half of the ship throughout the month. So you can save $30 if you want to wait 3 weeks, $10 a week. Plus, you get all the rewards from the battle pass. You could buy both, and then you'll be halfway towards your next Cerritos if you ever wanted 2 of them. Don't know why you would, I guess, but if you want to support 2 ships at the same different spots, different areas. And then once May rolls around, we'll start getting these Wednesday events that will award 10 10 blueprints per week. So if you have the 50 from the Elite, then it would take you 5 more weeks after that. That doesn't start until May, so you're effectively waiting 9 or 10 weeks to get the full ship for $20. Or if you don't buy either of them and you're strictly 100% free to play, then you'd get the ship unlocked sometime near the end of July, early August. I'm pretty patient. It's nice. The buffs, they're a nice little feature. They add some strength, add another little more complexity to the game for sure. No issues there. But it's a G4 epic. It's going to be expensive to upgrade. The issue with the buffs as well, in terms of the duration and things and the benefit that's applied, it also ties into the other person, the person that you are applying the buff to. So if you're not applying it to yourself and you're trying to give it to somebody else to help them out, if they don't have the research done because they're on a free-to-play path or a different path than you, then it's going to sort of diminish the effect a little bit. So not in the need to make a big move to get that. And it's just one more thing that they want you to spend money on. There's enough things to spend money on in this game. I guess if you do buy the Cerritos right now, you have a day and a half to figure out whether or not you're going to do it. Then you get this event completed, which gives you the frame for it and some more of the Urbanite that you need. Not the most compelling argument. And then you also get to be in a leaderboard here, which requires you to spend the particles, which you can't do until you get the ship. And then you can get more particles. You spend particles and you get more particles back. And the scores in my current bracket are pretty ridiculous. You can obviously see who spent, but uh, you know, all of these guys are all 50, not him, 56, 55. He's a lower level player. So 55, 53. So a lot of high level players. There really doesn't seem to me like much of a bracket here, because if I'm not mistaken, Volt is 39. He's 39. So we got 39 competing against 56. It's a pretty insane bracket there. It's really just more of a, you know, everybody, because you got to be 36 and up, I guess, to get to really use the ship and spend the resources. So they just didn't do brackets and just threw everybody in together. And the guys who are in the 50s are probably bigger spenders than the guys in the 30s and 40s. So this event is certainly going to favor them. That might have been a little bit of a strategic planning error. But the rewards aren't all that fantastic, so maybe that's how they justify it a little bit. So we'll just keep grinding over here for a little bit, working on what we got going on. I'll hop out a little bit between the level. It's up to a level 11 now, moving right along. We'll look at that account there. Turf Wars is the other big event that starts tomorrow. For those of you who haven't been a part of that over the last couple times they've run this, they run this every 3 or 4 months. They've done it, where it's basically all about taking over territories or competing in territory captures. So the scoring for this, winning new territories, you win a Tier 1 zone, you get 67,000 points. A Tier 2 zone is worth 80,000. A Tier 3 zone is worth 100,000. That's for winning. Just for joining, you get 13, 14, and 17,000 points. So if you are a small alliance and you don't have any territories or don't really have a shot to successfully take any territories, you can still join them all. There's like 30 tier 1s and get 13,000 points per each takeover, which will get you on the leaderboard somewhere here, probably in the top 10. Might be down here like number 10 or 12, somewhere in that range, depending on how many you get. The rewards for this are not bad. Looking at the top, you get 5 Mariner Shards, a decent amount of these territory particles. I don't know why they give you the raw resources, but they do. And then a nice little chunk of tritanium, and I get G3 and G4 materials. Yours will vary based on your ops level, as will the values of the tritanium. That would be if your alliance finished in first, everybody gets that, and then it'll scale down. So even the alliances in 11 through 12 through 25 still get a Mariner Shard, still get some particles and some isogen and some tritanium, and these amounts vary a little bit there. So 165, 658, yeah. So not stellar rewards, but certainly worth getting yourself on the board and competing over. The other thing here is that defending territories gives you a different point scale. So if you take a new territory, you get 67, 80,000, and 100,000 points. If you defend a territory you own, you get less points. Scopely missed the mark yet again on this one, probably because they can't figure out how to distinguish. So, hang on, I just want to go kill something else. Probably because they can't figure out how to distinguish between, or how to stop players from doing things like this. But essentially, there's no point to defending an existing territory. If I own a T3 territory, I get 50,000 points for it if I win the takeover, but I get 100,000 points for it if it's a new one. So a minute before the event starts, you just drop the existing territory that you own and get double the points for it if you win. You'll have your bases and stuff in there already. You can have your ships parked on the miners already, and then just right as the event is about to start, you just drop it. The only change this week, and thank you Olympus for pointing that out in the chat as well, is with this other scoring. And destroying player in TC space during takeover is worth 150 points. So every kill you get adds 150 points to your alliance's total. It's kind of a small point threshold, but it does sort of give something else to the PvP aspect of it. And the one of the main key strategies for ways to successfully win takeovers is to flood the systems with very, very tiny ships like Rialtas and Findras and, you know, Turas and, all those level 1 and level 2 common ships that are really cheap and really easy to, really quick to repair. You can just sort of flood the system with those, put speed crews on them, and just have them zooming all over the place. Creates a crap ton of server lag and really just drags everything down and makes the game almost unplayable. It's certainly pretty unbearable at times with how god awful it can be. Did I use enough adjectives to describe how unpleasant the experience is? Enough negative buzzwords, Scopely? Fix it, please. Lag, server, better. Sometimes it'll actually even get to the point where an alliance will have so many of these crappy little ships in a system, the game will tell you the system is full and it won't even let you in there to compete. That's how you know you're doing it right, when the other team can't even show up because you've reached the maximum capacity of ships in one particular system that the game can handle. But now, if you get 150 points per kill, those tiny little ships are kind of easy to pick off, so you can use your Vidars with your speed crews and stuff and go chase them around and pick off some of those ships and score 150 points each. Just need 667 kills to make up for a T3 zone acquisition if your math is right. Yeah, well, I mean, 150 points per kill, 100 kills would be 15,000 points. So even if you got 100 kills per territory, it's a 30-minute tier 1 takeover. You get 100 kills during that time. Well, you joined a tier 1, so you got 13,000 points for that. And then you get 100 kills, that's another 15,000 points for your alliance. That means you just contributed 28,000 points, which is, not bad considering 67,000 for winning. So if nobody shows up and they win uncontested, they get 67,000 points. If you can find a contested one and get some kills in, you can make up that, and that's just your kills adding to it. Your alliance can certainly get a lot more points if it's very active and everybody's getting a lot of kills in. Probably hard for everybody to get 100 kills, but some of these, especially tier 2, tier 3 zones that the fights go longer, there might be enough ships floating around there. But that'll be Turf Wars. That starts tomorrow. It's a week-long event. Good evening, Bioman. And like I said, there are ways to score in it to sort of contribute, no matter what your ops level is, because of the new scoring with ship kills. I wonder if we'll see people adapt their strategies if they don't want to let people kill their tiny little weenie ships because they don't want to risk giving up the extra points. Probably not. People will probably still use the same strategy, but I'm sure some people will try and switch it up and be clever. We should also have our first auction event coming up this weekend. could get allied alliances to boost each other's points, which could twist things. Yeah, you could definitely do that for sure. If you and an ally buddy, and you just everybody just floods some crappy ships in the system, and you just let them kill your allies, or vice versa, you could definitely manipulate the scoring for sure. Just keep sending Rialtas all day and keep letting them get blown up for 150 points at a time. That could definitely be another strategy. You just installed Ripper's mod. I have not used Ripper's mod. I hear people talking about it, but I have not ever seen it or installed it to know what it actually does. So nice, it's got a lot of keyboard shortcuts. Okay. That will probably come in handy for tough situations like territory takeovers, where every second can count. There was something else I wanted to look at. Lieutenant's exam still has a couple more days. If you haven't answered your questions yet, the answers to these have been posted online and in a couple of different spots, including the video I did on Tuesday, which you can find still in my Twitch previous streams, or on my YouTube page if you happen to need the answers to those. Was there something else going on? Oh, that's too far out. And this one, 2,500 points. Super easy to install. Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be too complicated to install and set up. There was something else I was going to go look at. Now I can't remember what it was. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me. See if we're making any progress here. I feel like we are. We're not making as much progress. It's only 200,000. So yeah, we're getting a little less experience here than we are in Taiga Core. It's also because I'm using a different ship too. I'm using the Kelvin because that's the only one that can reach out here, so I'm not getting the additional faction buff for using a Romulan ship to boost Romulan reputation. So that's also slowing me down a little bit. But I wanted to feel like I made a little bit more progress, got a little bit closer. Plus I wanted some bigger loot boxes. Killing some of these 47s and 48s. So unfortunately, it's the 49s that drop the ship blueprints. At least for the combat ships, the G4 combat ships. But hey, you never know. I might still get something off these guys that's useful. Should also be a scout spawning any second now. It's been about a half hour or so since the last one. Oh, unless that guy got him. Yeah, Turf Wars is always a weird event. Definitely is designed to sort of shake up the map a little bit, and we'll see just exactly how active alliances want to be with pushing everybody else around the map. I'm sure there's at least one or two that are itching for a fight and will enjoy, especially now you're getting points per kill, will enjoy fighting it out for as long as possible. On the other side, you don't want to give your opponent points for killing you, so you got to be careful where you draw that line and think about where you might want to throw in the towel. Oh, that was weird. Just got a network error on my Twitch stream. Okay. Well, hopefully you guys are still there and I didn't get disconnected. Yeah, there was definitely a lot of lag at this morning, even before server reset. So usually we see a lot of lag right around event reset. Everybody tries to cash in their points, and usually there's a little bit of a lag and a delay. That actually started a little earlier this morning. It started about 2 hours before event reset, and people were having issues with getting their kills to score or getting their officer recruits for the event this morning to score points, and that continued for about 4 or 5 hours. Can be fun to see turf wars on your server. 3 alliances with territory and only one of them each. Gotcha. Which server are you on again, Bioman? 115. Okay, so that's a pretty new server. Yeah, the new account that I created this week is on server 83, which is brand new. I think it started April 1st, to be honest. The server population is so incredibly low on that one. And yeah, turf wars when only like 4 people can reach territory should be an interesting battle. It requires warp range 20 to get there. Unless so somebody's got to get there to win the first one, and then everybody else in the alliance can move their base there, and then you can move around within a few systems within territory. You just can't ever leave to go do anything that you'd want to do. But in terms of getting to that first system to claim it, you need at least warp 20. And with the brand new server that's 8 days old here, that could certainly be interesting. Yeah, we're just going to finish up this here real quick. Get this last little bit of rep, get the Kelvin blown up and repairing. And we'll take a look at that account for a few minutes and just see what's going on at the lower levels. I did a new player tutorial this morning. Don't you need to have the ISO to join in on the takeovers to score points? You do, but you can get that from when you do your refines. You'll get that isogen. So if you don't have any territory and people in your alliance have just been doing their territory research, if you've just been doing your 1 and 2 star refines, this 1 star isogen you can get outside of territory Twos and threes are only available in territory, but you can always go hunting for people mining that go OPC and steal some. Then you can do your refining that way, and when you do your refines, you get these different things there, which if we go look at our, is it here in the territory? Yeah, our inventory. You have the different refined isogens, and we have millions of them. So your alliance, just from doing the refines, should have plenty of these, and that's what you would need to join the takeovers. See if it tells you the exact amounts. I've never actually looked. Do we have any fights going on? Here's a fight. Oh, looks like they got started early. Yeah, to join this, we would need 500,000 2-star and 50,000 cores to join. So plenty of those to go around. If your alliance people aren't really doing their refines, then you might have an issue there for sure. It's interesting that Anti's already on the move because the event hasn't started yet. Turf Wars doesn't start until tomorrow. Anti is the top alliance on my server. Not Merc. I hate when it does that. So Anti is here. They're a full million power ahead of everybody of us. We're in second here at 2.5. They're at 3.7 almost. And this is where pretty much all your most of the 50s on the server, or a lot of them, are in this particular alliance. 59, 57, quite a few 49s. People just can't afford to make that jump yet. So a lot of high-end players, a lot of people with a lot of big power. We certainly expected, every time there's a turf war, they basically do the thing where they drop all their territories and just sort of steamroll everybody off the map to get the most points. It's interesting that they would start a day early when there's really no point to them taking other territories, unless that one had a particular buff that they wanted that I can't think of, or they just wanted to start making some empty space. What are the buffs here? Defense platform enhancer. That's probably not going to do it. Might position them better for that 3-star. It certainly could for if they're thinking ahead for Saturday. If they want to get they dropped their 2-star here, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, and they take this one for 5. So Saturday, depending on, they could still drop this one and go after this 3-star. That makes sense. They're angling themselves up. Good eye, Olympus. Considering taking that one on our server for that reason. Yeah, no, it's a good strategy. It makes sense. I didn't really look at the map and think that far ahead, but yeah, absolutely. That makes 100% sense if you're trying to get to the 3-star to get the 100,000 points for taking that one. That's also an alliance that there's not really a lot of PvP against. When they roll in with their 50 million, 60 million, 100 million strength ships, you're just like, run. Especially, there's no really point in suiciding ships into them to try and just cause some damage when they're getting 150 points apiece for them. So This event usually is one that I think Scopely always has high hopes for, in the way it's going to encourage people to like want to buy a bunch of stuff to try and improve their ships before the big PvP fights. And usually it just ends up being, two or three of the top alliances just kind of uh, steamrolling the smaller ones and not really making it competitive for them. And then they kind of get into a bit of a pissing contest with each other. It's kind of how it usually seems to play out from what I've seen and remember. All right, so we're almost dead here. What do we got left? By the way, if you guys missed it Tuesday, the export on the PC version right here to export your battle log to Excel is now active and live. And that's a pretty cool function. That was a change they put in the most recent patch. It's sad that I'm actually rooting for the transports to kill me in this instance here, but I don't want to go back. It'd take me 11 minutes. I mean, I could just fight one of these guys and just get blown up real quick. I'll probably just do that now, actually, after this guy. If this guy doesn't do it. Hey, there we go. All right. So yeah, so now it's down to 30 million to repair, thanks to uh, that prime research that I did that we were talking about a couple shows ago. All right, picked up another 500,000 from the rep event as well for doing the repairs. We got exactly 50 loot boxes. Let's see what's in here. Good stuff, good stuff. Okay, okay, I will take those. A Katinga and a Bachor. I will take those. That for killing the two scouts, 360 messages. Another Burrell, because I can't already build 4 of those, but very happy with these. So maybe the 48s do drop them. Okay. All right, you guys got some time. Thank you for the basics series. It was very informative. You are incredibly welcome. Uh, I'm glad that certainly helped out and paid off, and there's a lot of useful information in that stream. For anybody unfamiliar, if you go over to my YouTube page, so this is the video I just did. This is the new player tutorial for players 1 through 10. Just sort of a quick reference guide. If you have new players on your server or in your alliance, or you have a friend who's thinking about getting into the game, this would be a good place to start. But then if you go to my playlists right here and go to the basics playlist, you can see all the different videos and stuff that I have here about some of the basics on event missions, crewing and officer synergy, the combat triangle, how the scrapyard works, using the Vidar when you get there, picking a good alliance, even just understanding what OPC means and how to follow your server's rules of engagement. Some useful stuff there as well. So that's all right there on the old YouTubes, and you can either just search for Tiberius 2187 or follow the link at the bottom of my Twitch page to get over there. Okay, so we got some good loot boxes. We picked up 500K from doing that, so we're down to 12 million to go, making some progress. Gotta hop over to the low level account for just a minute. Let's see what we got going on over here. Pull over my blue stacks real quick. Okay, so where did I leave you? Oh, you were just doing some farming as well, because, it doesn't matter whether you're level 11 or level 43, you're still just farming kills. for parts or for resources or whatever it is you need. Oh, OPC. Let's get him out of there. Not a lot of players, doing PvP on these level servers yet. You can't start PvP until level 10. So if you're under level 10, you don't have to worry about getting your ships hit. And even once you get to level 10 or 11, uh, this is the point of the game where the PvP ranges are pretty narrow. You can only get hit by stuff either 2 levels above you or below you. So if you're 11, you can only be hit by stuff 11, 12, and 13, or 10. And not a lot of those people are doing PvP. Armadas might be good one to do as well. I didn't. Now gonna make me look. I didn't do an Armada video. I guess I didn't do an Armada video. Hmm. Armadas are a little subjective, depending on the different. Because now there's a couple of different types, but that might be a good one to add. I'm gonna add that to my list. I will probably put that in my tutorials that I just started doing. I did the level 1 through 10 because that's kind of the beginning point of the game. And I'm going to kind of do them for each 5 levels, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. But when I do maybe I'll put it in the 21 through 25 one. Maybe I'll do a separate one just for Armadas. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. But I can definitely do something to that regard. Yay. It's very weird only having like a few officers to do things with and having to actually really, this account being 100% free to play, having to budget to do things and having to really look at the schedule and actually time, what the events and stuff are that are coming up because, like they ran a ship XP1. I only have 3 ships and they're already as maxed as they can go. So this is an event you can't really compete in at the lower levels really because you can't spend ship XP if you only have 2 or 3 ships and you've maxed them out from killing stuff. Same thing with like officer recruiting. You have so few ways to earn shards to recruit officers to get the points that again having to think about that and plan ahead and save resources and things something I've just to even complete the basic early ones was something I had to get accustomed to. You guys had a long discussion on how to unlock armadas. Oh, for your alliance, yeah. I think it's Ops 23 you can build the Armada Control Center. I think that's when you can get that going. Building goes right here. Yeah, Ops 23, and then you can do the research to unlock it, and then start leveling it up. You don't want to do any armadas that are size 2 or size 3. It's just a waste. So you unlock it, and then you just spend your time leveling it to get it up to at least level 20. So you can at least get a 4 size armada. And you can hold 4 people in it. That actually gives you a chance at killing some stuff too, especially at level 23. Don't do any rares and epics at that level. Kind of save those directives for a bit. You're gonna need them later. Let's go mine some. Let's go mine some gas. There we go. That's good. All right, so we got 12 loot boxes here to open. That's what we're after. Interceptor parts. Got 9 of those. Yeah, the research costing 1,000 cores is definitely a limiting factor for the first person. So usually if you're the first person in your alliance, you either have to pay for it and buy it for the 99 bucks, or you hop over to a different alliance uh, run a couple armadas, and then you can claim them in the when you cash in your alliance chests, which I already cashed mine in, or you just go here and do the Armada tactical cores and cash in some uncommon credits and get some cores. So then you can do your research and unlock yours and kind of get two or three people in your alliance that get that ball rolling. And then as players start catching up and they get to 22, to start participating so they can get the uncommon credits. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's it's kind of hard to get. You need somebody to get the ball rolling for everybody else. Amazing. It's impossible to have a free-to-play server because of armadas. Yeah, technically, well, I mean, I guess no. You could have a free-to-play server, just nobody would be able to run armadas. But you can't have a free-to-play server using armadas because one person would have to spend to buy it. Yep. I don't think there's any way that they give anything like that out for free. Certainly not something like they would put in uh, I don't know. If you were completely free to play, would Armada cores be something that they would put in like your treasury lockbox? That maybe now with the new de-sealing rods you could get for free? Probably not. Probably not. That's a bit of a stretch, I know. Okay, so what was I doing here? Waiting for this to finish up, waiting for this to repair so we can go see if we can do any ship upgrades. Probably not. I probably need more crystal, although I might be able to buy it if I have enough ship parts. The other thing newer players don't realize is that you can use Latinum for common resources. Limited time research event. Where are we here? 6 through 25, so it doesn't matter. Just for doing researches. What would I need to move up? I need about 1,000 points to overtake this guy to get into top 5. Going from 30 up to 100 Latinum. It might be worth it. It's got 4 hours left on the event. Word is the cross-server leaderboard Turf Wars event is going to be based around destroying ships in territory space. Yeah, I think that would be probably be the best way to do it, and they really want to encourage the PvP aspect of it. So when they finally figure out whatever they're going to do to make that happen, I could see that being a thing for sure. Okay, so let's see where we're at here. Nope, I need 29 parts. I've got 13. Okay, well, let's go do another round of kills. With my level 15 Findra with 6,000 strength. It's good, though. It gives you a new perspective. You got to go back to the beginning sometimes, right? Get that Eye of the Tiger back. Isn't that how the movie went? But yeah, I guess eventually, yeah, it's either buy it or swap alliances. But yeah, this particular server, like I said, I really think it's I know it's brand new, but I really think it started like April 1st. Like that's how new it is. Just looking at players, I don't quite get this guy. This must be somebody who just loves giving away money, or just really wants to be number one that badly and just have all the stuff. Because he's already up to 36. Maybe this is his favorite show. Maybe Lower Decks is his favorite show, and he really or she. You know what? Uh, I'm stereotyping. That could be a she. Admiral Sacco could very well be a woman. So this particular player, maybe Lower Decks is their favorite show and they really wanted to get up to level 36 so they could unlock the Cerritos and get that rolling. Brand new servers are level capped at 39, typically for 8 to 12 months. So this person is going to find themselves out of stuff to research and upgrade. They can obviously start stocking up on G4 materials at 38, 39. If they get themselves a jellyfish, and if the server even would run like a Parabellum or a Jellyfish Brawl event because of how new it is. But could do that, or could just start stocking up on resources and scrapping Mayflowers and waiting for the day when uh, the server expands. Just grind out your faction rep and just sit there. Yes, patiently, Smithers. Yes, until the day when the level cap goes up, and then you can jump from uh, 40, 41, 42, push through all those buildings real fast, and cash in all your credits and get your G4 42, or just keep going and just go all the way to 46 and get a Pilum. Yeah. They're two ops levels higher, a million power lower. Yeah, this is, obviously part of your power is also tied to your resources, which is why I don't know if you ever noticed that if you spend a lot of resources on an upgrade, sometimes your power actually goes down. So that person may not have a a load of resources. They may also only be doing the required upgrades to their buildings and things, and a lot of your base power sometimes comes from things like defense platforms. There are certain paywalls throughout the game. It always does make you um, yeah, definitely better than the Orion torpedo. The game always does have those paywalls where it makes you catch up and makes you do certain other buildings before you can push ahead, um, which may be what slowed him down at 36, because now he's got to catch up on all that stuff that he just ignored from 32 or 33, like all those par steel and all those generators. Usually it's the generators, sometimes it's the docks that they make you catch up on. But I feel like somewhere in that range there, right around 36 or so, it's like upgrade your dilithium vault before you can upgrade your ops. And then the vault requires the warehouse, and the warehouse requires the first two generators. And then these two generators require this vault to be upgraded. And it basically makes you backtrack all the way, start with the par steel, upgrade all those, and work your way through all of them. And that can really slow things down a little bit. Or you can just keep buying speed ups. Maybe he has some stolen credit cards. Yeah, it's always a possibility. Got to use it all now before they report it stolen, right? Or he cashed out a whole bunch of Google Play credits and just went just went crazy. If it's making the person happy, then it's making them happy. Go for it. Who am I to tell anybody how to spend their money to entertain themselves? Now, if Admiral Sako wants to subscribe to my channel, I'd be more than happy to tell them a number of things that they can do to be more effective and more efficient with how they spend their money in the game. But hey, that is entirely their choice. I'm going to be here regardless. I just enjoy doing this. If I get some subscriptions or 3.5 cents ad revenue, great. It's like those actors who get those residual checks for like a commercial they were in 20 years ago, and it's like, here's your 3 cent check. Like, it cost you more to print this than it did to actually. It's actually worth. The paper it's printed on is worth more than the amount on the check. A little bit of a lag here on BlueStacks. I can't imagine trying to do like PvP in like a territory takeover, which has already got pretty bad lag as it is. possible there might be an update or something that needs to run. That's why it might be a little out of sync. But yeah, that guy's the highest player on the server by far. But I mean, I just started. Let's go here. Players, power. I just started this account on Monday, and I'm level 11, and I'm the 80th ranked player on the server. So uh, there's not too many people here. Even the guy like top 25 isn't even 100,000 yet. So what is level 14? Yeah. So these guys, this is all very, very brand new. Now, I know a number of people do have second accounts, or third accounts, or fifth accounts, or 12 accounts. Best followers, primes, and viewers on. Okay, yeah, don't know what that is, but that can go. My channel got spammed. Woohoo! That's how I know I've made it, right? When I've got spammers coming into my chat. I think I'm just the only one streaming Star Trek right now. Probably. Thursday night's not the most popular night, so it's one of the reasons I chose it. It fit nicely into my schedule, but there also wasn't a lot of other streamers that I saw on their published schedules that were doing on Thursday nights. So, oh, we can speed that up. Woo! That's 11 hours, huh? We'll do that one probably overnight. Let's see what else we can get here before we can get the warehouse. So, we got 13 people, 13 helps allowed in this alliance right now, so it's going to shave 13 whole minutes off that. Did I just get a new away team mission? I did. Oh, it's got those recruits too. Let's see what we got. Health. It's always health. This is a 4-hour one, so I'm probably not going to use either of those guys tonight. We'll throw them there, get some officer XP. Haven't hit a crit yet, so it's only 10%. We'll take our chances. You just realized you're running out of research on Ops 14. Should I go up after that or just wait until I have my ship on tier 7? So at 14 you've got the Tala that you're using, right? I would probably hang back. I don't know if I'd max the ship all the way, but I would certainly hang back and make sure that that Tala is pretty well upgraded before pushing up. Because once you hit 15, um, also do all your exterior buildings and things like that too. Get your generators, get your ship dock and stuff up. 14 is a good point to sort of catch up on everything, because once you go to 15 is when other players can start attacking your base. Um, so you really want to make sure you've got everything done that you possibly can, and then you've got some resources and some speed ups in reserve, so you can kind of move through the next little segment there a little bit quicker, because there's a bit of a shipyard gap in there. So you've got Turas at 12, unless you have a jellyfish, which you have to buy or get in an event store. Probably not. Tala at 14. And then you've kind of got this little jump here until you get like the Franklin, which is only good for swarms. The Botany Bay, which just unlocks the augment space, but doesn't really help you do anything there. And it's kind of the North Star, which is a miner, but it's not really used for mining. It's mostly used for killing stuff. It has a surprisingly high power and damage rating, but this is also another ship that you would have to buy for 20 bucks or get in an event store to get the blueprints for it that way. I still have mine. I've never scrapped it. It's just, some fond memories of this ship. Because the power level on it is a drastic upgrade. It is a 3-star ship, so everything kind of on the point value does go up quite a bit. You can get through the first couple levels, and then you'll start running into some levels where, it does, remember, it asks you for 3-star common resources to upgrade it, and you can use Latinum for that, so you can push it up a few levels. But if you don't want to buy this, then you're kind of looking at waiting to, you're kind of stuck, but you've got a Tala that you're using at 14, and then you're kind of got nothing really going here until you get to the low 20s, and you're looking at like a Discovery, which will take you a little while to accumulate the blueprints for. You're just going to end up probably building like a Kira or a Vauclus just to sort of hold you over until you can get a Discovery going. You can get North Star free at level 18 with the weekly event. There's a weekly event for the North Star now? Is it in like Cosmic Cleanup? See, it's why I'm kind of going back to see how the things have changed, because, I know they wanted to change a lot of sourcing for stuff at the lower levels to kind of help the lower players speed up into the game and get into the mid 20s and 30s faster. And these would be the ways to do it, would be by getting some of those better ships to move through the game. It's where you get Franklin and Vidar. Yeah, that's the Cosmic Cleanup one. Okay, so they added the North Star in there for lower level players. Okay. Well, that would be good too. Um, so my advice would be to hang back at 14 for a little bit, get your ship upgraded, get your, defense platforms and your warehouses and stuff and minor resource nodes here upgraded as well. Some of these sometimes also too, you need these upgraded to do some researches as well sometimes, but wish they still had that for higher level players. Yeah, right? I'm sure it's level based. It's only for the ops 18 or 19. It makes sense because after that, you're kind of moving past the ship. But yeah, the research boxes at the early levels for your dailies can be a little challenging, um, because usually they require you to do multiples. It's like complete 2 or 3 researches or complete 2 or 3 building upgrades because these are quick and cheap for the most part. But you should still be able to get to your max point total without that. With the addition of the swarms and some of the other things that are in there, um, and I don't know at what point you can start having faction dailies as well to mine resources and get faction kills. You probably have to be a little higher to get this stuff unlocked. What do we need? Maybe not. I can actually make it there? I can make it there. Warp 13 can make it there. Probably can't kill anything there. Definitely can't kill anything there in a level 20 system, but if it doesn't have that high a warp level, then you probably could unlock that stuff earlier and actually start doing faction rep. Okay. So yeah, between those additional events, you should still be able to hit your maximum points required to complete your dailies. You might not finish every single daily, but you should still be able to get enough total points to get the final box unlocked there, which is what you need so you get the loyalty badges. So then you can do the seven and the these because these are the ones that you want to do. These change every couple of levels, every even level, I think, or every couple of even levels they change on. Um, so that's also something to hang on maybe to a 30-day chest until you get a little bit higher up, and then you can like cash in two at once and really get instead of just getting 2-star stuff. If you wait till 18 to do this, you might have 3-star stuff in it. We'll find out when I get there. That's kind of what I'm planning on. It's kind of what I'm trying to plan ahead for. Is I think that's how it's going to work. Yeah, 23. There's events for you to start getting the Devore faster. There, that's part of the Monday Latinum mining event. So in addition to getting the blueprints in the 30-day loyalty chest and getting Devore blueprints in here on Mondays during your Latinum Rush event, there's also another event that will give you Devore blueprints for that as well. That should get you the Devore like within a month between the 30-day. I think just between the event, I think they just give you like 25 blueprints an event to really get you your first Devore. Once you have your first Devore, I think that event goes away, so you can't just keep doing it and get like a fleet of Devores that way. But you can still get the extra blueprints in the 30-day chests, which are really the 28-day chests at this point. Yeah, see, there you go, V2. Gives out 30 blueprints for the Devore on every Monday. So, yeah, so you get it in 4 weeks. Oops, went to the wrong system. That's right. There's less of them here, but that'll still work. But yeah, trying to do some more basic content and really just sort of relearn the game. I know they've changed so many things. I'm sort of relearning a lot of these newer mechanics. Um, and I agree with that exactly, Olympus. Early game specialties ship sourcing updates are very nice for new players. Something that when we started the game we didn't have. Like if you wanted a North Star, you had to buy it. There wasn't a way to get it. Same thing with the jellyfish. They gave you through the events, you got 25 blueprints, and then they ran like one event where they gave out another 25. And you're like, yes, I've got 50. You just have to wait for that event to come around again, and I can get the rest of them. And then that event never showed up. It never came back. It was like, okay, where are the other 25 of my blueprints? And they were like, oh, but well, you can buy them in the store during these special events for this. And it was like, no, thank you. And then I think I was like ops like 32 or 34. During one of the arcs, they put them in the event store. And I was like, you know what? This is a complete waste, but I'm spending the event store credits to get those last 25 blueprints just so I can say I have this damn thing. So it's nice to see that they're adding new ways to source some of these ships and not just have to force people to buy them, make them, because maybe they realized, maybe Scopely's realizing they got to get you further into the game before they can start hitting you up for cash. If they start hitting you up for cash on like day one, it's not exactly, you know, it's a lot easier for you to say no. You don't have as much time invested in the game yet. When you're ops 24, 26, and you kind of want to start getting some cool stuff, and then they're like, well, you can have that, if you just give me 99.99. You're like, oh, but I really want to catch up to everybody else in my alliance. They have enterprises, and I want a Mayflower. It's a good change. It's a good change. Kudos to them for that. Anything they do to speed up the early stages of the game is always a plus. And it's kind of what I wanted to go back and see. Let's see what we got going on here. Hop back over to my main account for a second, see if we got anything else. Nope, just need to move this miner because I'm sure he's OPC now. Yep. We're not doing any more PvP tonight. What time we got? Yep, that'll carry me through until I get up for work tomorrow morning, so throw up the 12-hour shield now. And he can stay out there a little bit longer. So if you didn't see the memo the other day too, if you haven't cashed in this duty shift token to purchase one of these 2 avatars, next week they will be adding additional avatars to this. These 2 will remain, or they'll come back. It says that their timer goes away, but at least according to DJ's podcast or his Discord channel, he did say that these 2 avatars will return next week, along with a couple of other ones. So if you don't necessarily want one of these, or you're waiting to see what's better, it's not like you're going to lose out on the opportunity to pick these guys when the second half of the event comes back. So something to keep in mind. That's what he said. I have to take him at his word because, well, he talks to the people who make the game and I don't. So yeah, a lot of people spent their tokens, unfortunately, and most of them got the screaming head, which is kind of startling to see first thing in the morning when you log into Alliance chat and you just see like 5 screaming faces and you're like, oh, it's too early for this. Back over here. It's like, on the main account, once you get past like into the levels, 20s and things like that, these chests don't really have a lot of useful rewards, and occasionally the 4-hour ones might get you something, but really you're just cashing these in for the daily. Um, but like on the level 10 account, I'm constantly hitting this every 10 minutes, just hoping for like a 5-minute speed up, a 15-minute speed up, 3 latinum so I can speed something up. So what do we need here? What do we got? We've got I've got 2 30-minute speed ups. Well, let's go to stfc.space because I am working on a new research, pinpoint targeting. And level 1 of that gets me 1600 power. So let's take a look at this current leaderboard here. If I added 1600 power, I'd get myself up to here. I'd bump this guy down and I'd be in 4th. I'd be 4th place. This guy would go down to 5th. This guy would then only need about 350 points to then leapfrog above me. And I probably wouldn't have enough time to get another research done after that. I'm trying to think of if it's worth the gamble to spend the speed ups on this one to try and move up. What's the upgrade in the prizes? I move from third. I gain 70 latinum if I'm successful. Plus, that's 3 hours, 4, as opposed to 1.5. So yeah, so it is a pretty big upgrade. but I'm probably going to have to do this research and one more after it. So I could do that, spend 15 latinum there, use a 15-minute research and a 5-minute. That moves me up to 4th place. Do I have anything? All right, so now these unlocked. This is also a 4-hour one. These are 4 hours. Is there anything here? This one's unlocked. This one's 2 hours. Okay, let's do that one. And that one we should be able to finish up. That's Dilithium Storage, which according to stfc.space level 1 of that will get me 850 points. That might be enough to separate me, to keep me in the top 5. Okay. Redshirt Boimler pairs well with a few frames, but the Ransom Head just has greater versatility. Yeah. Yeah, when I saw that one, I'm like, oh, that's the one most people are going to pick, aren't they? They're going to pick the Screaming Head. Looks a bit like Ghost Rider, actually. The April 1st event was kind of nice for me. Got me like 2250 Latinum. Yeah, I mean, the gift chest that they gave at the start of the event, I got 3.5 million par steel and like 700,000, 800,000 titanium just in that first gift chest. And it was like, all right, well, I can build whatever I want now. It's just a matter of how long is it going to take to actually do the building. And then you look at the battle pass, even at level 10, first event milestone, here's 500,000 par steel. And today's milestone, here's 500,000 titanium. It's like, yeah, all right. Basic resources are not exactly a problem at this level. It is really just speeding things up. The other thing that was nice, so I think on Tuesday, I was only like Ops level 9 when I did my last stream. When I hit Ops level 10 overnight, and I woke up Wednesday morning, uh, once I got to 10, it unlocked the battle pass. So it'll let you start the battle pass mid-month if you start a new account or have any friends who join the game mid-month. Once you get to Ops 10, it will open the battle pass for you, and then you can play catch up, finish whatever milestones you can. I got lucky, it was right at the beginning of the month, so I was able to still finish the first day 1 event, so I do have the maximum points, so I can still try and complete the heroic BP as well, which will give me those dissealing rods, which, 5 or 6 months from now will actually be usable. But that was a nice change. The rewards for the battle pass are locked based on your ops level and things like that. So I'm sure it's, however I progress throughout the month, these are going to stay at the level 10 rewards. But actually being able to compete in the event was pretty awesome. Oh, I'm sorry I missed this earlier, but geez, thanks for the follow. I need to set up one of those alerts so it puts a little, graphic on the screen. I keep forgetting to do that in Streamlabs. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get more, uh, you know, elevated with my content. I downloaded Stream Raiders. Let's start setting that up. Start doing that during the stream as well. I see a lot of people playing that as a fun little background side game. What do we get? We got 5. Okay. Well, this feels like a good stopping point for tonight. I think we've covered the limited amount of events that we've had so far to the best of our knowledge. And we'll really see what happens with Turf Wars and how much it shakes things up this weekend. I'm sure at the end of the day, I know my map is going to look a lot different in terms of what alliances where, and I'm sure it'll look a lot different for you and your alliances as well. Let's make sure that, all right, they didn't need help. I didn't miss out on a fight. But I appreciate you guys stopping by and saying hi and chatting with me about the game. I hope you're all doing well, and I will be back on Sunday at noon. But until then, maybe I will see you around the galaxy. Take it easy.